Hi, I'm the writer and director of the film, which is a short film that you're watching right now. All this footage here was shot completely separate to the actual shooting of this. These are different cars. Me and my girlfriend are there. This was on the actual day. That footage is sped up because that car was going like 5 miles an hour. So this first part there was a huge chunk. Originally, I wanted to shoot this whole thing as a continuous like 15-minute one shot, one take sort of deal, and we did it like a bunch of times, but it was too long, so cut it down, jump cuts. This wasn't in the script. I thought this was kind of funny, so I left it in. Um, so this was really difficult when we were doing this as one take. We actually started filming from the red Volvo, and then we kind of got out, and there was this really long bit where they were talking about how their cell phones didn't have any batteries, and they were walking around looking for things to do, and then this guy pulls up in the car. Had a lot more stuff about old Bessie too at the beginning. That was a little gag about the car, sort of giving it a character. Not really too much of a car guy myself, so this was sort of written from experience here. Um, yeah, I have no idea what's going on with the car, so if it breaks down, I'm definitely not the person to sort that out. This is John LeBeau. This is guy fearlessly took this role. We had some auditions for other people before John, um, and we actually found somebody who seemed like a likely, like a good candidate for this role. They did the table read and everything, and about 2 days later, they called me up and said that this wasn't for them. So we moved on, and I talked to the producer Brendan Welton about other people that might be interested. And he said, "I know this guy, John, and he's probably going to be interested." I think he called him that day, and later that day we had a yes. So that first bit was originally 15 minutes long, one shot. So this was what was originally the second half of the film, but now it comes in sort of in the after the first quarter. This was shot at Paul Salvatore's house, which is where I do the Dark Room, the podcast show with Paul. So this is by no means anything weird for that house. That oh my god was intentional. He doesn't say it like that normally. In fact, it was difficult to find the right one. We even tried having him look directly into the camera and saying "Oh my God," but thought that was just maybe a little bit too much. This stuff here was shot by Wida Azim. Um, it's pretty. It was all stationary, and then we used like fake handheld plugin from Final Cut. I don't know why I thought to shoot it flat. Um, this is Gunny McShooty, another sort of uh, sub character, I guess. I originally kind of came up with this sort of South Parky voice for Gunny, and John sort of had his own take on it. Sort of became this sort of, I don't know, Texan Southern drawl. But in the end, I ended up recording the voice for Gunny McShooty myself. Just kind of wanted to hit somewhere in between um, that Southern drawl and a sort of stupid South Park voice. So here's the here's the plot, kind of. He's gonna make them seemingly have sex with each other. It's one of those things, you know. It's what if scenario, you know. What if you were in this in this position? What if you were on this boat? This was an afterthought, really, kind of on the day. Um, the clapping lights. This scene is it's pretty weird. This was kind of originally in the script. It was like maybe one sentence. It was like Steven goes into a room to get the camera, and then I was talking with Brendan a few weeks before we shot this, and I brought up the idea that I thought it'd be funny if there was something really weird happening inside the room when Steven went inside to get the camera. Like originally, I was kind of imagining this just full on orgy, but of course, we had to work with what we had, and I think Brendan mentioned that we should have a sort of Caligula type character there, and we got Charlie Lawton to do that. No, he didn't even really question it. This was this was originally going to be a lot more violent, but we didn't really have too much to work with in terms of the makeup and special effects. But I always thought that it was kind of funny, the idea of somebody being stabbed and sort of realizing that it hurt a lot, um, and vocalizing that. So that's our special effects. Some fake blood on that T-shirt. We had like 5 versions of that T-shirt, just in case there was any mistakes, or we had to jump back and forth, continuity-wise. This wasn't really shot in sequence. A lot of it was shot. These longer sequences were sort of shot at once, but I think there was a couple days that Renee, who plays Jasper here, he wasn't able to get there, and we had to shoot a lot of the stuff with just Regina, who plays Rachel, alone. Like like this stuff, I don't think was shot with the other two there. This was just a that was fun, a little fun thing to do, to show that he's kind of, you know, kind of insane. He doesn't see things necessarily as we do, you know, in reality. Um, this shot too, that handy cam was actually recording, and I thought initially that um, I might actually just cut to the footage from the camera, but I had something about just looking at the camera there, like I don't know, it appealed to me a bit more. This mustache is probably the best prop that I've ever had the privilege of using in my life. This thing is so gigantic. I remember when I showed John the mustache. I mean, it said in the script that there was going to be a fake mustache that he was going to put on, but he had no idea it was going to be this. Um, it's kind of funny too because he already has a bit of facial hair, so it's like, you know, mustache on top of a mustache. This was really awkward to do during the table reads. Um, Nobody really wanted to say these lines, but they did in the end, so I don't know why. So this is round 2 of the porno thing. This bit, I don't know. I came up with this. I feel like I stole this from something. I guess it's kind of like Tim Roth in Reservoir Dogs. It's like, you know, just shouting, stating the obvious. Um, That was funny to me.
Jasper, you are really testing my patience here. You can fix it in post.
It's I'm constantly throwing in little nods to the the filmmaker.
I mean, which one of the two of you is going to get
So
fucked by
here's a
first?
little twist in the story that they're not going to be having sex with each other, but
You guys actually would
John's going
like
to be
me
having sex with
to
them.
untie the two of you
So
and let you fuck each other?
in a weird way, I guess
You're
that's
scared and I fuck.
kind of better because it's not it eliminates the incest element. This part also was a lot longer initially too. This is one of our producers, G. Pollock. Um, they
Oh, the humanity.
um,
This is like
came. We had this shoot, split screen. They played both characters here, both of Steve's parents, and originally this went on for like I don't know 5 minutes or something. This scene, there was some interchange, some some gross stuff. I think they were talking about how they wanted to fuck each other. It's kind of wanted to make it really insane every time I left this room. So weird things are happening all over this house, and we don't really know if it's actually happening or if Steven's insane. Before, when that scene was longer with Steven's parents, kind of made a bit more sense for Jasper to die in between or appear dead. But I don't know. Maybe people won't think about that. It's another special effects stab wound. No, that's the line. That's the line that really irked everybody. So this is the big hero moment here. Jasper got away while Steve was not looking. He wasn't paying attention because he was wrapped up. Um, I think initially this bit wasn't even supposed to be in the dark. I think it was just easier to do it with just audio. There's a lot of noises in there, like slamming around and breaking stuff, but there's not really a lot of objects in the room, so I don't know how that makes sense. So here's another surreal moment. This is Adrian Patterson. That's me and Brendan, the producer, and this is Elvira, I think it's pronounced, Elvira Franny, who I've worked with a couple times before. She came out to just stand there and hold the boom pole. And then we're talking about pretty vile stuff here, some necrophiliac stuff. This was kind of we shot this before the whole Weinstein thing, but it was kind of a nod to people being exploitative, filmmakers going a little bit too far. Happens all the time. These are not real flies. Those are CG flies. So there was a thing about fly phobia earlier. That was CG blood. Took me a long time to keyframe that. So here we are. We're leaving the house, and for the first time, you get full frame shot, no longer widescreen. This bit was a little bit longer too, but people told me that it was too long. It's probably still too long. The tree blocks everything. Had her originally walk over to the car and start puking up some blood. She had this blood in her mouth and didn't end up getting to use it. So this was shot by Rita also. This is really cool, I think. I think this looks really nice. It's like good focus, panicking moment. So this Bess is there for some reason, and the car still doesn't work. So then we cut to the credits. These credits had to go real fast. Had to keep it under 15 minutes, so went real quick with that. And we get this little bonus bit at the end here. And yeah, that's that's that. So thank you for watching the film, and hopefully you enjoyed it.